In-Laws and Crime. I'm Ashley.
I am Megan. This is In-Laws and Crime. And we are back.
We're back.
Once again, we're doing a double record. So if you're watching on YouTube, we are wearing the same clothes.
We're doing a double because my girl Megan is headed out of town.
I'm flying away from this place.
Yes, she's headed out of town, and I have an insanely busy work week, and so it just made sense for us to do another double.
But while we were in between recording last week's and this one, a crime file popped into my head that we did not mention, and it was the raid that happened in Tyler. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. So this happened on 69. It's over there kind of across from, well, not across, Camping World, all of that. You pass that.
I thought it was kind of by Tyler Pipe. It's more by Camping World.
Yeah, it's you go past Camping World and it's up the road if you're going towards Tyler on the right, if you're coming from Lindell. So there's that, it's like a furniture store, I believe, which is on the right. So apparently the FBI with multiple agencies conducted a court authorized operation, which that's all it says. And it says East Texas may be connected to human smuggling investigation.
Which is different from human trafficking. So just so we're clear, like they're not trafficking people. These are people that are here,
just here
illegally
have
and
been snuck in here. Yeah. A spokesperson for the FBI confirmed that they are conducting the operation at that furniture store that I mentioned. Multiple agencies, including Smith County Sheriff's Office and the Texas Department of Public Safety. It says at this time, neither the FBI nor local law enforcement agencies have publicly confirmed the nature of the operation. And so they just said that there's been multiple arrests made. And so in the footage, you saw that like people were being walked out, and there's apparently they sell ice cream at this place as well. And this one lady was interviewed because she had went there to get some ice cream. And as she's walking out, FBI is raiding the place.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? You're like, no. She said, I just showed him my ice cream. And I was like, I'm literally just here for the ice cream.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that terrified me. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
I think that's our only crime file.
It's the only one we're going to cover. There's some
little ones
that were happening around the area, but that's the biggest one.
Rusk County. There's all kinds of things popping up over there.
Yeah. Be safe in Rusk County.
Yeah. Y'all be safe out there. But anyways, I think we're just going to hop right into it. We don't have any other files that I know.
No, we don't have any other files. Patricia's still sitting on them eggs. So I did tell Megan that for some reason my hummingbirds have disappeared from both feeders.
Yeah, reach out to us if y'all's hummingbirds
if your hummingbirds have disappeared, let me know because I can't figure it out. And I actually saw, because I was thinking about it and, technology. And I saw a TikTok actually that was in our area that was like, where are your hummingbirds at?
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So it's like a thing. And I'm like, maybe they're still
I don't have a hummingbird feeder, so I haven't been keeping up with the little hummingbirds.
Okay, I'll have to ask Steve if his hummingbirds are still around.
Steve is an avid hummingbird.
His feeder is so active. I'm so jealous. They're so cute to watch.
This is a farm file. I think we mentioned on the podcast that Steve, our father-in-law, has bees.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes.
So my oldest daughters, he ordered both of my daughters bee suits.
Oh my God. Cutest thing. I love that.
He ordered both of them bee suits so they could help him with the bees, which is the most precious thing ever. And my oldest ones came in and it's a pink bee suit.
Oh my gosh. I need all the pictures and all the video.
I was about to say, maybe I can post something.
Yeah, that's so cute. I haven't seen Carol and Steve in a while. I assume that the bees are doing okay.
They're doing good. They went and checked on them. They had my girls this past week at one point, but they watched them when I ran some errands, but they went out there and checked on the bees. It's just so sweet.
Love it.
Anywho, let's jump in. I have no idea what you're covering today. So
okay.
I haven't even read your title.
It's today I'm going to cover Candy Montgomery.
Okay.
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 And I had a hard time not getting worked up on this one.
Oh boy.
So
yet another one that actually is going to give
I
us that's
just
going to
get
piss
riled
us
real
off.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
your cases always piss all of us off.
You know what? You can't say much because yours really hacked me off on the last one. For not having
a lot of unknowns there.
Yes, for not having more on Kim.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I'm going to take you back to the 1970s in the Dallas, Texas area.
Okay.
Okay. So on the surface, we're talking about Wiley, Texas. It looked like the perfect place to raise a family. And fun fact, I actually lived in Wiley, Texas for a hot minute. Yes, we lived in this little community. It was so rural. There was nothing out there. It was like pastures.
Yeah.
I'm sure I wouldn't recognize it now. But anyway, we lived in this little gated community called Seis Lagos. And I loved, we had this sweetest security guard.
Aww.
And I just loved him. And his name was Captain Redwine.
And what a name.
He was the sweetest soul ever.
Captain Redwine.
Yes, he was just the sweetest. Anyway.
I love that.
Okay.
Shout out.
So Wiley, Texas sat in the northeastern edge of Dallas, far enough from the city to feel like a small town, but close enough for residents to enjoy prosperity in the booming technology industry. So new subdivisions were springing up across the county. Families moved into modest little brick homes. Children rode bicycles up and down the street, and church parking lots were filled every Sunday, which I feel like has been a running theme for us.
For you.
Yeah, I think you mentioned church on your last episode.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, one little blurb. Yeah.
I mean, we do live in the Bible Belt. So.
Yeah, we do. We sure do.
So this was the kind of place where neighbors knew each other by name. Doors were left unlocked, which I feel honestly is just a running theme for the 70s. Like nobody locked their doors.
No.
Right? It was just.
No.
Yeah. They just didn't.
No.
Anyway, but it was the last place that the residents would expect a murder to take place.
Oh, heavens, no.
So I'm going to jump ahead to June, 1980.
Okay.
And as I was writing this, I realized June 1980 was the exact same month that the Dangerfield church shooting happened. Same month, same year.
Wild.
Yeah. So June was a heavy month for crime.
Yeah. In 1980.
In 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So which sucks because it's mine and your birthday month.
Yeah, it is.
Actually.
So, but luckily we're later.
We are later.
We're younger.
We're 80s girls, but not 1980.
Yeah, we're late. Well, mid 80s.
Okay. So police officers would walk into a modest home and discover one of the most shocking crime scenes in Texas history.
Ooh.
A young mother named Betty Gore lay dead on the utility room floor. She had been struck with an axe not once.
Oh, shoot.
Not twice. But 41 times.
Holy cow.
And we'll learn later, the woman who committed the killing was not a hardened criminal, not a drifter or a burglar, or even a stranger. It was Betty Gore's friend, Candy Montgomery.
41 times?
Oh, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm.
My God.
So this story is about a secret love affair, a suburban scandal, and the killing that divided an entire community.
My goodness.
Okay, so to understand what happened in June 1980, we're going to do a little background.
Mm-hmm.
So Candace Montgomery was a beautiful and energetic woman that was married to a very successful engineer named Pat Montgomery. Candy and Pat had 2 children, and they lived in Wiley, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So by all accounts, Candy had everything society told a woman of the time that she would need, have, or want. So Candy had the looks, the house, the kids, the husband. What else could she possibly need in her life?
Exactly.
And as always, to friends and family, the Montgomery family appeared to be a perfect, happy, and loving family.
Mm-hmm.
They always look good from the outside.
Yeah, they do.
So Candy was active in church activities, community events, and social gatherings. She had friends throughout Wiley and neighboring communities. She volunteered, organized events, and quickly became the girl that everybody went to if they wanted something done.
Okay.
So, but as we all know, appearances can be deceiving, which I feel should just literally be like the slogan, appearances can be deceiving for all.
Should have been our podcast name.
Yes, that would have been a good podcast name. But like, looks to be deceiving should be the name of all, or the slogan for all social media, dating apps. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't.
Yeah.
Anyway. But as we hear often, underneath Candy's picture perfect facade, she was battling something. Candy had grown restless in her day to day life. To her marriage had become routine and her family felt predictable. To me, this says Candy had a stable marriage.
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean,
Candy just had like a normal family life.
Yeah.
Like you were literally just talking about Kim Flint and having a routine and just like a stability in her life.
Yes. I'm a routine girly.
Yes.
I love a good routine.
Well, apparently routine to Candy was boring.
Well, that's a mental disorder. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
JK.
Either way, she felt every day seemed to just blend into the next. So, and then like we can all feel like life can get a little mundane.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. You can get bored and stuff.
For
Go
sure.
on a trip then.
Literally, I was about
Go
to say.
Mexico.
Right. I was like, literally do something to spice up your marriage, plan a family vacation, create a new family tradition, plan a vacation just you and your spouse.
Yeah.
Like life doesn't have to be boring.
No,
Candy.
plan something.
Do something about it.
Be productive about it. Start a new hobby.
Yeah, Candy.
Jeez, Candy.
I'm sorry.
I'm already
You can tell I'm
pissed.
already not a fan of Candy.
I am not either.
The Montgomery family attended the Lucas Methodist Church, and among some of the other families attending Lucas of the church were Alan and Betty Gore. Alan worked in the technology industry and was known as intelligent, quiet, and somewhat reserved. Betty was younger, deeply devoted to her family, and focused all her attention on raising her children. Take note, Candy.
Oh, yeah.
The Montgomerys and the Gores moved within the same social circles. Not only did they attend church together, they participated in choir activities, shared dinners and social events, and their children played together. So at first, nothing seemed remarkable about this friendship. They were just like friendly church acquaintances, really. But over time, Candy began paying more attention to Alan.
Ew.
Alan was very calm and thoughtful, very opposite of Candy's more outgoing and energetic personality. So get this. Candy eventually decided she was tired of just watching Alan from across the room or holding superficial and casual conversations with him. She was ready to make a move, a real big gesture.
What the freak are we doing?
One evening, after a church volleyball game, Candy asked Alan if he was interested in having an affair. She just walked straight up to him and said, "You want to have sex? You want to have secret sex with me?"
Ew.
Yeah. I know. Horrid. Like,
Okay,
I was
that
saying,
is
like,
not
I can't,
how you spice up your life.
marriage. Yeah. With an affair. With another married man.
Now,
by
what
the
did
way.
he respond is my question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Alan, well, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on now. Alan was like, "What in the world are you talking about?" He was like, he was completely shocked by the invitation of the secret love affair. And he said, "I'm going to pass."
Good for him.
So weeks went by and Alan continued to refuse Candy's invitation for a secret affair.
So she keeps on it.
She was persistent.
That's how you get murdered.
Until one day, Alan freaking gives in. He says, "Okay, I'll try it. Let's give it a go."
Alan.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So get ready, because before they started this secret love affair, Candy and Alan wanted to establish some rules and boundaries.
I'm getting nauseous. Rules and boundaries. Y'all don't know rules and boundaries.
So they set up a strategic planning event where they would discuss the logistics of the affair. And they discuss things like their schedules and how to be secretive, of course, and their emotions.
What are we doing? Oh my God.
So, as all this is going on, can you imagine, like, Betty at home is planning dinner and keeping the house going and chores together and, you know, like literally living life as her husband is planning the secret affair. And then poor Pat, of course, is working his ass off to provide support for the family so Candy can have this perfect little life this perfect boring little life.
Yeah, that's so
Like,
boring to her.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
I can't. I'm still. Which that was probably the first red flag with Alan. Is I would, if you're listening to this, Drew Sharon,
Pay
if
attention.
a woman comes up to your husband and
Mhm.
says, "Hey, you want to have a freaking affair?"
Mhm.
I would really hope that that husband would go and say, "No, thank you, you crazy psycho person."
Yeah.
And then immediately go to his wife and say, "You'll never guess what just happened."
Yeah.
And spill that tea.
Yeah. We're going to need to stay away from
Yeah.
this person.
I
Yeah.
would hope that that husband would be man enough to go to his wife and say, "I think we need to separate ourselves from probably this whole church at this point."
I mean, it's just awful. Like, so both Betty and Pat are continuing life thinking everything's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was my point. Like, my first red flag for Alan is he didn't immediately go tell his wife that she
Yeah.
had offered him this.
Right.
He kept it in probably because he was like, "Oh, maybe."
Yeah.
Ugh. Continue.
Thank you. So while their spouses were busy, they would make plans to have this love affair. So their number one rule, Megan, was that they could not fall in love with each other. The affair was to remain strictly physical and nothing more.
Oh, so How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
Oh my God.
Well, in that movie, she wasn't supposed to sleep with him either, and she did.
She did.
Yeah, she ruined it.
Mm.
I mean, it was a cute movie though.
Heath Ledger.
No, Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey. Yes. You know what I just did? I molded 2 things into my brain: 10 things I hate about you, and How to Lose a Guy in 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so their acts,
Anywho.
so their acts and whatnot were not different than like today's cheaters, really.
Oh,
no. So
obviously not. No.
So Alan and Candy rented motel rooms and met during their lunch breaks, and for months, everything with them went according to plan.
Disgusting behavior.
Neither Betty or Pat was suspicious of their spouse's activity. So Alan and Candy were quite proud of themselves, as you can imagine that they're getting away with this craziness. So their elaborate plan to avoid suspicion was working. Not only did they have their spouses fooled, but also their friends and family suspected nothing untoward was going on with Alan and Candy.
So gross.
Mhm.
And they have children involved.
And they
in
have
all this.
children. So life, as far as Pat and Betty were concerned, continued on as normal. But we all know that affairs rarely remain simple.
No, never.
So, and like,
Nor do they remain secret.
This is crazy to me, like, because how is an affair anything but simple?
Right.
It's not. Like, nothing about, I keep hitting my mic. I always hit my mic. But,
Yeah.
Like, nothing about an affair
No.
is simple.
No.
Ever. Like,
You're adding more onto your plate.
Yeah, I just can't.
I barely have time to scratch my head, let alone
plan a secret love affair.
Yeah.
A simple one.
Yeah. What the heck is that?
Like, I just can't.
I don't understand it.
I just can't. Like, sorry.
Yeah,
I told you I got really worked up in this one.
am
Like,
too,
I'm just so frustrated.
I know.
So, eventually, Alan begins to feel guilty about the affair.
Oh,
but hold on.
Really, Alan?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, he did say no eventually, but he did break down.
You don't feel that guilty.
Right. Okay, but you want to know why he felt guilty? Because his wife, Betty, had become pregnant with their second child. Do we want to high five Alan for successfully banging 2 women? Do we? I mean, thank God Candy didn't get pregnant.
Hey, that was my next question.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Like, he's like, gosh, my wife is pregnant now, so I probably should
stop having sex with that other lady.
Yeah.
What a sicko.
I just can't. So, during Alan's little journey of guilt, him and Betty were actually participating in a marriage enrichment program at church. I mean, I don't know why Candy and Pat weren't in this marriage enrichment class. They should have been.
My God.
Either way, as Betty and Alan worked through the enrichment program, Alan made the decision that the affair had to stop once and for all. He couldn't carry on and didn't want to carry on the affair anymore with Candy. So Alan sat her down and was like, look, like, this is over. I can't do this anymore. And face to face, she agreed. But on the inside, Candy was not ready to end the affair with Alan.
Just go find you another husband.
Yeah.
Lady.
But by late 1979, the affair was officially over. So while Alan attempted to rebuild his marriage, Betty was starting to struggle. With 2 little girls, motherhood was really demanding. She spent nearly all of her time caring for her infant and young daughter. Friends and family noted that Betty was always exhausted and overwhelmed since the birth of their second child. So Betty was really struggling to keep it all together, and it wasn't clear whether at this point Betty knew about the affair. We don't know. But either way, tensions were brewing under the surface, and the running theme of the story, as always, looks can be deceiving. So while Betty was mentally and emotionally struggling, and Alan was trying hard to make things work and get his family, like keeping his family as a priority, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, they're struggling to keep their marriage and their life together. And Candy went on with life as everything was normal, completely unaffected by the affair. It's like she just could put on this face like no other. So as they kept appearances to all neighbors and friends, everything looked completely normal. No one could have imagined how quickly the two families were about to fall apart. So it's Friday, June 13th. So Friday the 13th.
Oh, no.
The day started, of course, like any other. Alan was out of town on a business trip. Betty was home with the 2 girls, and Candy was at home preparing for a busy summer day. That same morning, Friday, June 13th, Candy drove over to the Gore's house to pick up a swimsuit that belonged to Betty's oldest daughter. So nothing about that would seem alarming, right?
Yeah.
So at some point in that morning, Candy drove over to the Gore residence to pick up this little swimsuit. But within minutes of this casual, not out of the ordinary errand, one person would end up dead.
Oh, Lord.
So here's what Candy said went down that Friday.
Candy says this.
This is Candy.
Okay. Means
Candy
nothing.
went to pick up the swimsuit from Betty. And while Candy was at Betty's home, Betty questioned Candy about the affair she had had with her husband, Alan. Per Candy, she admitted the affair did happen, and upon her admission, Betty became enraged. Then again, per Candy, Betty then retrieved an axe from the utility room and threatened Candy.
I mean...
What followed was a struggle between the two women over control of the axe. Where do you keep your axe? You keep it in the utility room?
I don't know. My husband.
I promise you, it's in the garage or in the shop. Yeah.
In the shed out back.
Yeah, right. You're not keeping that in the house when you have young children.
Yeah, no.
Really? Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, anyway.
If she did go to quote unquote retrieve it, it would take her about 15 minutes.
Yeah. The two women were supposedly fighting, and they both were fighting for survival. All of a sudden, Candy gained control of the axe, and then she struck Betty again and again and again until she hit her 41 times.
Okay. If you go there with the intent of getting a swimsuit, and all of a sudden you get attacked with an axe, and by God's grace, you assume control over the axe, you're not going to continue beating that person 41 times.
Yeah, I'm going to get there.
You're going to scare them and run off.
Yeah, right.
And call the police.
Oh, I'm
and say I got attacked by a crazy lady.
I'm telling you, you're going to be so upset by this. The attack against Betty had reached a level of violence the community had never experienced.
Yeah.
They had no idea how to even comprehend an attack like this on anyone.
No.
The final wounds to Betty would become one of the most debated aspects of the entire case.
Are the children home with Betty when this happens?
So I had a hard time. I'm going to address the infant in a second, but I have a feeling that the daughter was probably with Candy, and they were swinging by the house to pick up a swimsuit so she could take the girls swimming. That's kind of my take on it.
Okay.
So, I mean, why else would you, unless, you're borrowing a swimsuit from Betty for your own daughter.
Yeah.
I just assumed because the oldest daughter isn't mentioned.
Okay.
So that's my assumption. And it's summertime, so she wouldn't have been at school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so, but perhaps even more disturbing than the attack itself was what happened afterward. As Candy left Betty's home after this brutal self-defense attack, Candy just drove away. Drove away like nothing happened. And she literally went on, seriously, as if nothing happened. Just continued her day as normal.
Good
She
God.
interacted with friends, family, and church members
No.
that day.
No. No. Not if you quote unquote were defending yourself.
So when she was at church, no one realized that they were speaking with someone that had just participated in a deadly confrontation.
Yeah, not somebody that just beat somebody with an axe 41 times.
Yes. So unfortunately, hours would pass before Betty's body would be discovered, thus leaving Betty and Alan's infant daughter completely alone. Yeah. So meanwhile, Alan Gore attempted to contact his wife by telephone. He called repeatedly, but every time the call went unanswered. At first, he wasn't concerned. He just figured she was busy with the baby.
Yeah.
But then as the day went on, Alan became increasingly worried about Betty and his daughter. At some point in the day, Alan reached out to a neighbor and he said, "Hey, like, can you swing by the house and check on my wife because she's not answering?" And the neighbor was like, "Yeah, absolutely. I've got you."
Oh God, this poor neighbor.
So the neighbor, so what the poor neighbor discovered would change their life forever and shock the entire community. We know at this point that as the neighbor made his way into the home, they would discover Betty's lifeless, bloody body in the utility room floor.
Mm.
And when the neighbor found Betty, they immediately called 911 for help because that's what a decent human being would do.
Yeah, when you hit somebody with an axe or you find somebody, you call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As officers arrived at the Gore residence, they quickly recognized the brutality of the crime. They noted this was no accident, no burglary, no random act of violence. Betty was the target of a brutal and personal attack.
Yeah.
Investigators immediately began to look at Betty's relationships with friends and family, and they looked into her most recent activities. So the axe was still on scene, so they had that.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so the murder weapon was still there, and there was definitely signs of a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So as we know, investigators are going to immediately look at the spouse first, right?
Yeah.
Investigators question Alan about Betty's brutal attack, and Alan comes clean about the love affair he once had with Candy Montgomery.
Good for Alan. Good for being honest.
After Alan's admission of the affair, investigators were like, whoa, we have potential motive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to dive into this Candy girl. So during the investigation that had Alan saying he had this illicit affair with Candy Montgomery, and then they had Candy as one of the last people to see Betty alive. So we have like some connections here.
Yeah.
So it's looking good for investigators, but not so much for Candy.
Mm-hmm.
So as the case went on, they became increasingly more suspect of Candy, and eventually she broke. And she admitted to being at the Gore house the day Betty was attacked and killed.
Mm.
And then as the investigators continued to push, she continued to break and admitted to being at the Gore house and then killing Betty.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So as we know, news spread rapidly through Collin County. Residents had 1,000 questions about what the heck happened and why did it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Many in the community knew both women personally, and there was this divide between everybody. The divide was Candy was attacked by Betty, and Candy acted in self-defense. And then the other half believed that the bitch be crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mima. And she wanted Alan for herself and needed Betty out of the way.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm. So as you can imagine, this was the talk across the town. And as the public drew their own conclusions and picked sides, you know, like, I just can't. I just can't. Anyway, so as the public is dividing, like, where are Pat and his children in all of this?
Mm-hmm.
So Pat one day finds out from, friends that his wife murdered their other friend, right? Like, can you imagine, like, what in the world? Poor Pat. He's like,
yeah.
Say what?
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
Yeah, and he probably didn't even know that the affair was going on.
Oh, yeah, no, he had no idea. No. Candy the chameleon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now that investigators have Candy's confession on a record, now the big question is, why?
Yeah.
So prosecutors argued killing was intentional.
Mm-hmm.
To them, the number of wounds suggested anger, revenge, and deliberate violence.
Mm-hmm.
Defense attorneys offered a very different explanation.
Of course they did.
They claimed Candy acted in self-defense, that Betty attacked her with the axe because she became enraged about Candy's admittance to the affair with Alan.
41 times is not defense.
And to support, get this, and to support their claim of self-defense, the defense introduced psychological testimony that would become one of the most controversial aspects of this trial. Okay, get ready, Megan.
Already confused.
Experts argued Candy experienced a dissociative reaction triggered by childhood trauma.
No.
According to the defense, once the struggle began, Candy entered a psychological state where rational control disappeared. So this just blows my mind. I mean,
no, Candy was in a psychological state when she walked into that house. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, she went in with intent. But,
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion.
In our opinion. It's my opinion.
But like, I mean, we do have the whole show called Snapped, right? Where people
Yeah.
just lose it.
Yeah.
And maybe she did, but that doesn't mean that she's innocent.
No, exactly. 41 times.
Yes. So the courtroom listened and the jurors watched closely as Candy described the confrontation. But even when defense teams snapped theory, everyone was still wondering how self-defense could result in 41 axe wounds.
Case dismissed. Or no, not case dismissed.
Not yet. Then there was some that focused on a different question. If Betty did indeed initiate the attack, did Candy have the legal right to defend herself? Which was a stupid question because of course she...
Yeah, you can defend yourself.
Exactly. Of course you can. So
but
dumb.
I feel like there's such a thing too as like overkill.
To me,
sheesh.
41 times is
41 times with an axe.
Yeah. So back to June 13th, 1980. It's now October 29th of 1980. It's Judgment Day for Candy. And the jury had reached a decision. The words rang out in the courtroom. The jury found Candy Montgomery not guilty. The courtroom erupted with emotion. Some cheered for Candy's innocence and others cried out as if there was no justice for Betty.
What in the hell?
I can't. For many residents of Collin County, the verdict seemed impossible to understand. A woman was dead. Another woman admitted to killing her, yet no criminal conviction would follow.
She must have had some damn good defense attorneys.
Well, knowing Candy, she probably just slept with everyone.
Oh, God, I really hit my mic that time. I know y'all probably don't hear it, but it like jars us every time we hit our microphones.
Oh, yeah, like that. So the case instantly became one of the most controversial trials in Texas history. Yeah. But again, this is just my opinion that Candy's actions after the attack doesn't show a woman that defended herself. She hit Betty with an axe 41 times.
Yeah.
Right. And at what strike was Betty dead? Right. Like
probably the second.
I mean,
or third.
Yeah. Right. She was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then she didn't call 911 for help. It's self-defense.
Yeah.
You didn't call 911 for help. And then she leaves the infant for hours by itself, knowing that Betty has a baby. Right. These are not acts of somebody that
I try and like put myself in that situation. And if I got attacked by a person coming at me with an axe, and by a miracle of God, I got that axe away from that person, I'm either taking that axe and running out the door to call 911, or maybe hit them once, drop the axe and run. Like you're just trying to get out of there. You're just
trying to get away.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to sit there and continue to strike them 41 times. And I can guarantee you blood's going everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
And if you're in the correct mental state, that's not normal. Your body's going to react to all of that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's insane.
I know this is so crazy because, and I was thinking about this morning as I was rereading my notes. Like, I can't imagine swinging an axe 41 times.
Yeah. Your arms.
Right.
Pilates is right. It hasn't geared me up for that. Like that's 41 swings of
Yeah.
an axe.
I know. I remember like one summer, like Jacob and I were splitting some wood and I was hitting it with an
Yeah.
axe. I was worn out.
Yeah,
I only did a couple of
Strike
pieces.
3.
Yeah, seriously.
Gotta
But
take a
41
break.
times?
Yeah, no.
Seriously?
No. You're psychotic. You're in a psychotic state is what you're in.
Okay. Following the trial, Candy and Pat Montgomery eventually moved away from Texas.
I'm sure they did.
They didn't divorce, Megan.
That's
what I don't
insane.
get. Like, Pat stayed married to her. She killed
He's
the
probably
wife
scared.
of the person she was having an affair with.
Yeah.
She had an affair. Let's start
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Then killed someone.
Yeah.
And you're like, maybe we should move out of Texas.
He's probably scared too. He didn't want to get hit with an axe either.
So the Gore
Blink
family,
twice, Pat.
I know, the Gore family, bless their hearts, attempted to rebuild their lives from the unimaginable loss. For years, the case faded from national attention, but it never completely disappeared. Books have been written, documentaries were produced, and where are they? Because I couldn't find them in my research.
Where are they?
Where are they? And then television series revisited the story for generations. And every time the case resurfaced, the same questions returned. Was Candy Montgomery truly acting in self-defense? Or was Betty Gore the victim of a rage-fueled attack? The story of Candy Montgomery continues to fascinate because it challenges our assumptions. There were no obvious villains, no criminal masterminds, no strangers lurking in the shadows. Instead, the tragedy emerged from ordinary lives. People who looked remarkably similar to thousands of families across the suburban America. What began as dissatisfaction inside a marriage evolved into a secret affair. The affair ended, but the consequences did not. On the summer morning of 1980, those consequences exploded into violence that forever changed multiple lives. The jury answered one way, and history continues to argue about that answer. And perhaps this is why, more than 4 decades later, the killing of Betty Gore remains one of Texas' most haunting true crime stories.
Insane.
And that is the crazy story of Candy Montgomery.
That's insane. I bet Alan feels like absolute shit.
Oh, yeah, your secret love affair led to your wife's murder.
Yeah. Oh, no, she had already had the baby. I was about to say, and she was pregnant.
Yeah, no.
She had already had the baby.
Yeah, Candy abandoned the infant.
Yeah.
True sign of an innocent person, in my opinion.
Enraging.
Yes. So my source on that one was Texas Monthly, and my aunt Leah actually suggested that case for me.
Nice.
So thank you.
Thanks, Aunt Leah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, thank you for that once again for pissing all of us off.
I got so worked up.
Yeah.
So worked up.
I cannot believe they found her not guilty. That's insane.
That she just self-defense and she snapped.
I wonder if she's had any other run-ins.
I didn't look into where that little twat is right now.
Maybe we'll do an update.
I got to be careful because she could still be living.
Yeah, very true. In our opinion.
It's just an opinion, Candy. You may be a delightful woman.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Anyways, rate and review.
Like, subscribe, and share.
If you have a tale or a recommendation, email us at inlawsincrime@gmail.com.
Yes. And thank you for people that are commenting on our stuff. We love to see that.
We love it. And thank you for people messaging us and stuff and giving us recommendations and stuff.
Yeah.
So keep on doing it.
Keep on sending them in.
We love it. We love to read it. So, and also keep your roots deep
And your head on a swivel.
Bye.